Hi there. I just wanted to talk about what I've been feeling about the way things are. And I've been feeling really, to be honest, a lot of grief. I've been feeling grief about the stupidity of humankind. I've been feeling a kind of hopelessness. I can't see how we will ever make a difference or ever really wake up. I've been feeling grief about the rainforest burning. That image of the rainforest burning. I'm feeling grief about images that I've seen of vast tracts of plastic floating in the oceans. I've been feeling inconsolable grief about the radiation pouring from Fukushima in Japan into the Pacific. I've been feeling grief about the passing of species, about extinction. I've been feeling grief about the stupidity of man. I've been feeling grief again and again every time I encounter this Trumpian dystopia that is this emerging future. I've been feeling grief every time I encounter denial about the way things actually are. I've been feeling grief that good things end. I've been feeling grief about age, the fact that I get old. I've been feeling grief about the deterioration of my physical body. I've been feeling grief at the loss of my lover. I've been feeling grief at the loss of my parents. I've been feeling grief that things change. I've been feeling grief deeply and profoundly, and I've been doing my best to sit on it and suppress it. And this has led me to be numbed. And this has found me sitting in my head, staring at a screen, creating a cyber reality. But I'm now facing that grief and feeling it and weeping it and allowing it to be there and to not make it a bad thing, but to make it a blessing, to realize that it's a communication between me and life. I'm not separate from this planet. This is the great realization of the eco-self. I'm not separate from this planet. This planet grieves through me. This system of life looks to me to help it because I'm a human and I can. So this, underneath the grief, underneath the fear of extinction, the fear of the fate of future generations, the fear of how terribly wrong things can be going and what might come of that. I feel that fear. I don't make it wrong. I feel that fear. And I feel that grief. And I let it have its way in my heart. I let it fashion and mold my heart. And then from that I let it guide my actions. I find that feeling that grief unites me with the planet, unites me with the reality of what is, that I actually am a part of a much greater whole. It's not just me and my desires, me and my purpose, that I'm part of a greater whole, that I'm part of a greater system, and I have a function in that, and there is a synergy in that. It talks to me, I talk to it. We are one. And returning to that is the experience that I'm finding when I face the grief, when I hear the earth crying in me, when I hear the trees screaming as they get hacked down and fall to the ground. And by listening to that screaming, and by opening up to that screaming, and allowing it to be, a new kind of destiny opens up. A new kind of intent arises. Yes, I feel powerless. Yes, I feel hopeless. But if I allow myself to actually accept that that's what's going on for me, then that acceptance brings it into some kind of resolution and it vanishes, and I find myself going deeper. Deeper into a place where I'm not lusting for a particular result, but I know I must do something. And it's not really even that important exactly what it is I do or who I do it with. I must do something in response to this feeling deep within me. It's not a psychological feeling. It's not the effect of my upbringing that's making me feel this way. It's not a wounded child, or it's not some aspect of my past surfacing in this moment. This is deeper than that. This is about my connection with the earth, the living earth. This is about being able to feel that, to have enough space to actually feel how it is, to not be in denial. I don't know intellectually or factually. You can't trust any facts anymore, can you? But something in me tells me that something is very wrong. Not ultimately. Ultimately all is well. But in the drama of this world, in the cycles of change, we've come to a very low ebb. And I feel that this grief and this fear is calling me into being, into action. When we come together with that same intent, having been called by the earth itself in some amazing way, an energy is created, a vibration is made manifest that doesn't necessarily create the result on the level that we're acting it out. But a result is created, an energy is moved, something is ignited. And for me, I just feel that it's really important to do something. And when I do something, I find that that is an immediate path to presence. That I discover myself, I discover the self in action for others and the planet. But ultimately it's for myself as well. There's something profound in this, the resonant field of energy of people who are moving in this way. Not moving out of anger, not moving from an intoxicated, suppressed place, moving from clarity, with dignity, with peace, with love. The presence of being with those beings opens something even deeper in my heart and just makes me feel a connection with the earth, with all beings, with all life that I didn't know before. There's a difference between the self and what you might call the eco-self. The self is just a feeling of the beautiful sense I am. Not cluttered with psychological debris. Just the simple sense I am. And it's a beautiful place to arrive for anybody. But the eco-self is the simple sense I am connected to all life. That it's not me subject and all nature object. That actually we're one. I'm part of it. I'm actually part of all this nature, of all this form, of all this wonder. I wanted to express this because I wanted to hear myself say it, so that I can take it deeper, understand it more fully. Because it's not easy to keep hold of the facts about the emergency that we're in. To me, the state of the oceans, radiation in the Pacific, plastic everywhere else, that's an emergency. To me, 1% having half the wealth, that's an emergency. To me, massive investment in arms is out of control and is an emergency. And to me, the statistical global warming and what is predicted it may cause is an emergency. And to an emergency, I need to respond if I'm awake, out of a calm, clear, heartfelt, open, connected place. And when I do move from that place, magic happens. And then I realize that I'm part of this incredible intelligence that is life. And it'll put me where it wants me. It'll cause through me whatever it can and will. I don't have to be too concerned about that. I just have to be awake, connected, and feeling and hearing the call and the cries of a dying planet.